Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we head to the Park Chateau, where the newly formed East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce held an event where local business owners and lawmakers came together to discuss the future of East Brunswick and Middlesex County. The East Brunswick High School girls basketball team celebrates Senior Day before a recent home game, and history is made with senior Nicole Johnson's 1,000th career point. The Middlesex County Education Association held the annual Pride in Education Fair at the Brunswick Square Mall as we check out the festivities. And Al Nygren, the executive director and curator of the New Jersey Film Festival, joins us in studio to interview filmmaker Roger Ahn about his animated short Alpha Fish. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now. The East Brunswick Park Chateau recently hosted the East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce Luncheon as local business owners and lawmakers from the county came together for a networking event and presentations from Mayor Brad Cohn and freeholder Ken Armwood.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. For those who I have not yet been fortunate enough to meet, my name is Frank Bailey. I'm the president of the newly formed East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce. You can see from the attendance that we have today that we've got some pretty explosive growth. As I was talking to Assemblywoman Pinkin as she walked in today, she said it's obvious that revitalization of the chamber was necessary, and I think that is definitely demonstrated by today's attendance. We've got great synergy with the local government. We are creating amazing business partnerships. In one of the final planning meetings that I was involved in right before today's event, I was actually in the Temperature Pro office with Lamia for just some discussion about some sponsorship things, and in the room right behind that were two other chamber members doing business together, which was incredible for me to see. Totally unprompted, wasn't there because I was there. That was just the flow of their business, and that was really, really nice to see the way people are coming together and utilizing one another, taking advantage of the networking opportunities, and ultimately making East Brunswick and the surrounding area the best it could possibly be.
One of the best ways to boost our local economy is to think globally. Middlesex County has a unique story to tell, one that is rich in history and shaped by innovation and collaboration. We've begun to telling this story, our story, through a series of marketing campaigns that focus on four key themes: where history meets innovation, where art meets culture, where education meets opportunity, and where diversity meets collaboration. Our new initiative is helping us to accomplish three things: promote awareness of the county, build on the countless opportunities that Middlesex County offers to businesses, tourists, and neighboring areas, and lastly, raise the quality of life for all those who call Middlesex County home. We work with our local businesses and private sector partners to add jobs and ensure that they have the highly skilled and educated workforce they need to thrive. We're moving in a new direction. We're perfectly situated in New Jersey and in this country. We are next to the largest and busiest railroad line in the United States of America, the Northeast Corridor line from Boston to Washington, D.C. We have both the Garden State Parkway, the Turnpike right here in our area. We have the most stops between Trenton to New York here on that railroad line. We are the home to the state university, Rutgers University. There is no reason why we shouldn't be promoting the greatness that Middlesex County offers to the residents and to businesses looking to relocate here. And at the heart of it, East Brunswick will always be a part of that greatness that we seek.
One of the biggest things we did this past year was reestablish the East Brunswick Chamber of Commerce. Now, this was done to energize and organize our business community, and we could see that it has had that outcome, and they need to be a critical partner with the township. They absolutely do. We need to keep our businesses, be receptive to their needs as a government, and make sure that we provide all the help that they need in order for them to thrive. And an active, engaged, and excited business community is the best recipe for us to attract new businesses back to East Brunswick. That's the goal. The areas, like I said, that we're looking to redevelop need to be done in one idea of what that's going to look like. You can't develop one area and then do something there without thoughts about how the whole thing should look like. Ultimately, though, we want to start by providing to the development world our vision of what that plan's going to be. And again, we're looking at mixed-use type of communities where you have the ability to live, work, and play. This type of community where you have the wide streets, the ability to have open markets in the middle, commercial restaurants and businesses on the ground floor with residences and apartments above, where you park from behind and you have sort of a real nightlife and downtown type of atmosphere, is what we're looking to develop in the area that presently occupies Lomans. That would be, the main street would occur throughout that Lomans Plaza with the mixture of commercial space and housing through apartments or possibly some for sale units. And then sort of right where you see the traffic circle, which would cost us an arm and a leg to remove, so it will have to remain. But we're looking to put in that zone a hotel. A hotel that brings in over 100 rooms automatically offers to the township another liquor license. And the ability to have a liquor license, it changes the ability for us to turn that town into something that would attract people here and businesses and restaurants to want to be in the township. So that would be more where the hotel would be located, and then off to the right where we presently have the Gap and the Wiz, that would be converted more into townhomes and brownstones and duplexes where people can either rent or own apartment space. Layered on top of all of these plans is the fact that the state recognizes that there is an overwhelming need to provide affordable housing to individuals in this state who really cannot afford to get by. We're also looking to put a parking deck on the corner of Ruth Street and Route 18. If we're going to have approximately 700 to 800 people living on the units on the Route 18 corridor and another 500 on the 110 Tices, these people need the ability to get in and out of the city and to be able to commute. And the likelihood of them just walking across the street, which is Route 18, not an easy place to cross, and going to the station that we operate on near the Walmart site is very unlikely. So we already have a 2-year wait for parking in the 2 decks that we operate. So if you're going to park more people in this area and have them want the ability to get in and out of the city, we will absolutely need a third transportation center, one that can service those individuals that need to commute in and out of the city. And if you want people to come into the area and dine and shop, they need a place to park. On the 110 Tices property, which is the one, like I said, behind Dick's Sporting Goods, that property is individually owned by one developer. I believe very strongly that that's going to be the first area for us to work on, since it's one developer that we have to negotiate with. Most of the units there are going to be for commercial towards the front that borders on Tices, and then there's going to be housing units for a good portion of the center. Mixture of apartments, duplexes, brownstones, and townhomes. If we're going to ask residents to buy into the option of having more units in these type of spaces, we obviously need to think about traffic patterns. We obviously need to think about all of these issues that are going to impact people's ability to move around. But the point of all of this is to give you a vision for what this could look like. The 110 Tices property is going to have to, even though that's the easiest for them, for the developers to work on, and it's probably the area we're going to work on first, but you have to have a vision for how this whole area is going to look. It's not 3 separate units that we're building, it's one community. The boulevard that goes down the center of that should mimic the boulevard that we're going to have out on Lomans. It needs to be coordinated. And if we're going to ask residents to buy into the idea of more people living in a more condensed area, we have to give something back to the residents, things that they really want. Our vision for that property is towards the back. You can see off to the left that sort of white rectangle is our version of a hockey rink that we'd like to have here in East Brunswick. It's one of the few things, a lot of towns around us have them, East Brunswick has not. My son played hockey. He never played with any team in East Brunswick. We had to go around to South Brunswick and to Old Bridge and to Monroe and other places that have rinks. We don't. So I think that the idea of intermixing things that the township could use while trying to give the developers an opportunity to make money. I don't have a problem with them making money. Make as much as you want, but you have to build what the township needs and meets the needs of the community that we have here, and not just what you want to build. And so that's a negotiation which we're ready and anxious to have. It has to meet the needs of everybody here in the township, and you all need to be an integral part of making sure that the vision that we go out to the table with is something that everybody wants. So again, thanks every one of you for coming here today. I'm thrilled that we see such an active and engaged business community, and I challenge you to do even more next year. Thank you.
The East Brunswick High School girls basketball team celebrated Senior Day before a home game against Bridgewater Raritan on January 27th. The undefeated Bears started all 5 seniors and honored the student athletes and their parents with an on-court ceremony before the game. The Bears fell behind early and trailed 17-9 at the end of the first quarter, but came out strong in the second quarter and cut the lead to just 3 as they entered halftime, trailing 25-22. The Bears were led in scoring by junior shooting guard Alyssa Bondi, as she racked up 18 points on 4 3-pointers to go along with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Sophomore Brianna Slewinski led the team with 6 rebounds, along with 5 points, 2 steals, a block, and an assist, while senior Lauren Krinsky also contributed with 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, and an assist. Seniors Anna Cureri and Kristen Goodman also had 2 rebounds apiece for the Bears. Senior point guard Nicole Johnson entered the game just 11 points shy of 1,000 career points and led the way offensively for the Bears. It was in the third quarter that Johnson drove to the hoop and cemented her place in the history books of East Brunswick High School with her milestone basket. Johnson would finish the game with 13 points, 4 steals, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. Athletic Director Chris Yanazzo talked to Nicole after the game about her achievement.
I'm here with Nicole Johnson with an outstanding feat today, 1,000 career points, and much more to come. Nicole, how does it feel to get this accomplishment?
It feels great, especially to have it on Senior Day. You know, I'm just really overwhelmed with excitement.
So it was outstanding. Like you said, it was on Senior Day, so it was a great thing. Your family was here, everybody's here. Great applause, great crowd. So it was awesome, great to see. Who are some people that helped you along the way?
You know, definitely my coaches. You know, they always believe in me, always encourage me to look to score, and my teammates especially. You know, feeding me the ball. You know, just pushing me to get to my goals.
Well, like we said, Nicole, great accomplishment. Glad to have it here on Senior Night. Congratulations, well deserved.
Thank you.
After Johnson's basket gave the Bears their first lead of the game, Bridgewater Raritan began a full-court press, forcing turnovers as the Bears struggled to find an answer. The Bears were outscored 13-6 in the fourth quarter and dropped their first game of the season in a 57-42 loss. Let's check out some more of the highlights and meet the seniors.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Brunswick Square Mall for the Middlesex County Education Association Pride Fair. This is an event that we do every year to show what our association does for your students and to bring community engagement and organizing about what we do in our great public schools.
Hi, my name is Lois Schuchner, and I'm the president of the Middlesex County Education Association, and we're here today at the Brunswick Square Mall doing the Middlesex County Pride Fair. Our association represents 15,600 members of school teachers, bus drivers, transportation, food services, all the people that work within your school buildings. And so we're here. It's a great organizing event for us to get out into the community so that they can see what it is we do in the public schools for your children. So Middlesex County Education Association is an affiliate of the New Jersey Education Association, and we're kind of like the bridge between the local association and the state. So we provide a lot of professional development for our staff within our public schools. We do a lot of community organizing events, fundraisers. We do a lot of workshops to help assist in educating our staff within the school buildings so that we can bring the most up-to-date information to your students. New Jersey was just ranked number 2 within the nation of great public schools. So we're very proud of that, and to that we thank our staff right here in Middlesex County and across the state for the great work that they do in educating your children. New Jersey was just ranked number 2 within the nation of great public schools. So we're very proud of that, and to that we thank our staff right here in Middlesex County and across the state for the great work that they do in educating your children. Just thank you for being here today, and we look forward to seeing you next year. This is an annual event that we provide. And if you have any questions or information or would like to be part of the fair, we welcome vendors from outside of the schools as well as our school districts. You're more than welcome to bring some of your students to perform, whatever it is you might want to bring to represent your school district. Just give us a call and you're more than welcome to be here.
Hello again, everyone. It's Al Nygren, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey Film Festival, back with the last of our filmmaker interviews. The New Jersey Film Festival will be taking place January 26th through March 2nd on select Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings starting at 7 p.m. Each evening will have a short film or a series of short films followed by a feature. There'll be lots of filmmakers, actors, production people at the screenings that you can interact with, and there'll be free food courtesy of Jimmy John's at each one of our screenings. Tonight, we have this wonderful film director who made a wonderful live-action animation film called Alpha Fish, and his name is Roger Ahn. Please welcome Roger. Hi, Roger.
Hi, Al. How's it going?
Everything is going well. So tell us, how did you get involved in making this film?
Well, I raised goldfish when I was a kid, and I think that they have a lot more personality than the people give them credit for. And you kind of sit there, you're looking at your goldfish for a long while, and you can get into their heads and wonder, hey, they're really excited to see you in the morning. So I kind of projected that and thought about what kind of short could I make with a 3D character, which is where I'm trained in as a 3D animator, that could be done from home on 2 home computers. So characters that have hair are very difficult, and I said, you know, what's a character without hair that's an animal that has a lot of personality? And I went for the goldfish.
But it's a talking goldfish.
Exactly.
That's the great thing. And he has a personality.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you base him on anyone in real life, or?
Gosh, you know, I could get really psychological here. You know, it's interesting. I kind of, you know, my background in theater and community theater was about taking narratives that were departure points from autobiography. So I'm 36 now, but back in my early 20s and mid 20s, you know, it was definitely, you know, it was tough, you know, commuting from New Jersey to New York and socializing and things like that. And I kind of, the character of Rodrigo was formed from some kind of like repressed kind of, you know, macho feelings and such. So I would say that I kind of, you know, almost split up the characters with kind of the goldfish as the id, my character as the ego, and the marine biologist who comes later as kind of a super ego.
Yeah. So let's back up and tell the audience the film is basically a kind of quasi-triangle film where Rodrigo is the goldfish, you are his owner.
Exactly.
And you now have a date with this marine biologist, or you're dating this marine biologist, and he has the hots for her.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, tell us a little bit more about the film. And, well, we don't want to give away what happens.
Right.
Tell us about the actors besides yourself, the gal that plays the marine
Amber
biologist.
Dickerson. She's a veteran children's theater actress. She leads Pinkalicious, the musical, and you know, I would say that she really was amazing, you know, in this role, because I wanted someone that could play an intelligent character that had a lot of charisma and that the goldfish would feel drawn to. And you had this goldfish that was very macho and such, and very suave.
Yeah.
And you know, he was played by Lou Mann, who I felt extremely fortunate to find, because I think that all the appeal of the short comes from his voice performance. And when I was trying to cast a goldfish, I thought, well, what would I say in a description? And I said, you know, I want to find someone who sounds like Antonio Banderas and the Dos Equis most interesting man in the world. And I think he nailed it.
He definitely did. He definitely did. Tell us about the animation process, which is really amazing, because you're able to put real people in, and it looks just like Star Wars or anything else that you see these days with 3D animation.
Well, animation is definitely a really laborious process. Let me tell you, I spent about 9 years working on this goldfish, and you know, working on my free time on 2 home computers, I spent about 4 years sculpting the goldfish and building a skeletal system so that he can move. So the best example I could give is when you see claymation movies like Nightmare Before Christmas, every expression needs to be sculpted, every facial expression you need to make. So I had to do that all on the computer.
Wow. How many expressions did you capture?
Oh gosh, I needed about 60 different goldfish heads, which are called blend shapes. So
that's terrific. That's terrific. What has the response been to your film so far? I mean, we know we're premiering the film here.
You guys are, yeah.
Have you been able to show it elsewhere yet?
Well, you know, we've got a couple of film festivals coming up in New York City, one in Portugal, actually.
Wow.
And a traveling one called the Kids First Film Festival. So that'll all be coming later in the year and such. So I'm really happy about that, you know. I spent a long time working on this, and it's really nice to get a little
You can see that there was a lot of love put into your film as
thank
well. You. And it's a sweet film, too. So, folks, Roger's film is actually the opening film on Friday, February 9th, which will be playing with 2 other films that have fish themes or water themes. The feature film that evening is called Bluefin by John Hopkins. It's a film produced by the National Film Board of Canada, which focuses on the revitalization of the bluefin tuna, which is an endangered species. So my job as the curator is to try to find a home for films and put them together, and I think your program is very fishy.
It's fish night.
Very fishy. Fish night is right. So Friday, February 9th at 7 p.m. in our state-of-the-art facility, Voorhees Hall, room 105, and Roger will be there to take questions from the audience. And the program begins promptly at 7 p.m. You need more information, go to our website, njfilmfest.com, and click on where it says schedule. And thanks so much for coming, Roger. Thank you.
My pleasure.
My name is Rodrigo Caracius. and I am the alpha fish of this pond. I have slain my rivals in single combat, mated with the finest females, and fathered thousands of fry. Alas, I come from humble beginnings. This is my story.